fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya. During the fight with the Nomu, he went berserk. Him and Venom killing the Nomu and eating its biomass. Now, the result then being that Midoriya gained the Nomu's shock absorption quirk, along with actually genetic traits of what the Nomu used to be, human. And a mutation did occur. Not only did Midoriya gain a shock absorption quirk, but he also did gain the man's blonde hair. Now, with that being said, this added to Todoroki's conspiracy that Midoriya was All Might's son. Since he's almost as big as All Might, his hair is now blonde, and he's got insane abilities. Now, with that being said, whenever Midoriya did actually go to get up and walk out the infirmary, Todoroki was right there in the door, asking him point blank if he was All Might's son. And whenever Midoriya did refuse to answer, he did ask his question again a bit more firmly. Now, we will open up there, where Midoriya does actually try and deny this claim, telling Todoroki that he's not All Might's son. Todoroki not believing him, and then asking exactly then why is his hair blonde. He's assuming that the hair dye fell out. Hair dye? No, dude, this is new. Midoriya does say, as he actually does walk over and grab a mirror, saying that he's pretty sure his roots might still be, and him actually inspecting, well, that they're blonde too. Going on to say, fuck. Oh good, this is permanent. So it's true then? No, it's not. Listen to me. I'm not All Might's son, and you should just drop your little conspiracy. I still don't believe you. Now, Midoriya and him do argue, and eventually they do get into a little bit of a scuffle. Now, Midoriya, he actually does throw something at Todoroki, and eventually some people do walk in. Now, Toga, Jiro, and at least a few others do come in and hear what Todoroki is saying, as he's yelling and screaming that Deku is All Might's son. And Midoriya is shouting that no, the hell he's not. His dad's name is Hisashi Midoriya, and he works overseas. Now, we actually do have Toga on his right, Jiro on his left, Bakugo actually there, holding back Icy Hot, and, well, a few other people on Midoriya's side. As Midoriya, he actually does get a bit angry, and he does go to bring up his arm. Now, the moment he actually does go to do this, we actually do have Toga on his right, who does actually try and at least grab Midoriya by his arm, telling him not to do that. Now, with that, Midoriya does actually just look over at her and bring his arm back down, saying that Todoroki's lucky right now, and that he better stop it with his little conspiracy. Now, Toga actually does go to sit down on the hospital bed, as Todoroki is dragged out and taken to Principal Nezu's office by a few pro-heroes. Now, with that being said, Midoriya actually does decide to leave, Bakugo actually walking home with him, and the two don't really have a very good conversation together. Bakugo is still skeptical about Deku. And then we actually have, well, Toga, who actually is still there in the room after everyone has left. As she is thinking. Her actually lying down in the hospital bed and trying to figure everything out. And she actually does think about what Todoroki did say. If Izuku is All Might's son, things could make a lot more sense. She kinda does see why he thinks that way. And she actually does roll onto her side. After that does actually happen, there is a small little prick on her arm. Her looking down and actually trying to see what she did poke into. Before she does actually just try and get up and look around. There's nothing on the hospital bed. Whatever. Now, with that being said, she would leave, and we will pick up with Deku. As the days would go by, he is actually announced as being selected for the class representative. Midoriya actually is staying in front of everyone and saying that he doesn't actually really want to do this. He doesn't understand why everyone voted for him. And everyone basically does is explain it's because he's a very strong guy. He has good morals, he could be serious when he wants to, and all of this. Midoriya actually is saying that he'll pass on all of that. Talking about how Ida could just do it. Now, along with that, there is whenever everyone is being told and prepared for their 2-week break for the sports festival, where all the classes do actually show up and basically declare war on Class 1A. Now, we actually do have everyone standing in front of the door, where Midoriya, he is the one who opened it. Everyone looking up to see him. For a second, they mistook him for a third-year student. And, well, it's kind of strange. He reminds them of a pro hero, but which one? Now, with that being said, they all basically do explain that Class 1A is not going to be the highlight of this year's sports festival, and about how that they will all be taken down. Midoriya actually somewhat laughing at that, as he does just bring his hands up and tell Shinsho that he highly does doubt that. Shinsho actually smiling for a second, as Midoriya is brainwashed. That being where venom does actually pop out of Midoriya's body, covering him entirely in the suit. As Midoriya, he buffs up to the berserk venom size. And this takes everyone off guard. As Midoriya does begin to speak, as his giant tongue does come out of his mouth. As he does actually look down and grab Shinsho with one hand, picking him up and telling him that he better not do that to Izuku again. What the hell? What the fuck are you? I'm his quirk. Tactics like that don't work on me. Oh god. Okay, just put me down. Now, Venom does actually just let go of Shinsho, and announce to everyone that they are all going to lose. They are in Class 1A for one specific reason. They're able to fight. They're able to destroy robots. They're able to be the top physically and academically. So, if they think that they're going to win, they're going to have to try their absolute hardest to beat them, be it strategy or strength. Now, Venom does then uncover Midoriya, as he is then unbrainwashed, and he does actually just start shaking his head off, as everyone does just look back at the sky, as Midoriya does quickly walk away. Now, Midoriya, he does actually get home, and the moment he does, he immediately just closes his door. Inko trying to check up on her son, since not only was he in the infirmary, he was actually hurt during the USJ attack, apparently. And then there's his strange hair thing. She doesn't understand it too much, but UA has tried giving a statement about him. Now, with that being said, information about Midoriya's quirk was also shared. Now, with that being said, we do have later on that night, where Midoriya, he's trying to sleep. Him waking up from a nightmare about the Nomu's life, and getting angry. As he would walk over to his door, grab it, and go to pull it open. Him pulling his door off the hinges again, by accident. Now, Midoriya does just look at it and get angry, before setting his door down and walking out of his house. Now, Venom would then cover his body, as he actually does decide to start going on a bit of a late run. Now, we actually do have Midoriya, who is running around the city and jumping up across rooftops. As Venom is asking Midoriya if he's alright. Midoriya trying to explain to Venom that with all the stress going on, he just wants to get away from everything. He can't sleep, he can't focus in class. Everything in his head just feels jumbled together for a minute. He just needs to have a clear head for 5 minutes, that's all he wants. Not think about anything, not focus about anything. Just run away from his problems. He just wants that for a brief minute. Now, as that is happening, we actually do have Midoriya, who does leap off of a rooftop. As he does actually go to bring his hand out, something does collide into him. The moment this does actually happen, Midoriya is smashed downwards directly into a building, before he actually does go to attack and smash the other, whatever thing that landed into him, into another building as these two go smashing through the walls and into an alleyway. Before Midoriya does actually just get back up and throw whatever this was away from him. Well, the moment that actually does happen, it smashes into a large dumpster, before getting back up. And Midoriya does actually just bring his hands up and go get ready for combat, wondering why he didn't set off his spider sense. Now, with that being said, Midoriya does look up to see what appears to be another symbiote. What the hell? I don't know what you're doing here. Another symbiote. It's been a long time. I was wondering where you ended up. Venom, what's this guy talking about? There's more than one of you? It appears so. I may not be the only one on Earth. Now, Midoriya does just uncover his face, saying that whatever they're doing here, just to leave. They don't have to fight. Hardly. You see, you are playing hero. We are not meant to do that. In fact, I'm playing villain. So, how about this? We both fulfill our purpose here on this planet, and take it over. No. How about no? We're not doing that. Venom popping out of Midoriya's shoulder and saying that they are going to be heroes, and that his experiences with this host have shaped him to be that way. He is not going to do that. He will not kill people. His previous host did that. Those emotions, those feelings, those things, they were not good. And they were basically toxic. It's like someone's putting toxins into your blood. And they aren't good. Now, with that being said, the symbiote does get angry, and Midoriya and him do get into a fight. Now, Midoriya and the symbiote, or Riot, do actually fight, as they're their fight does eventually get out of the alleyway and into the streets, where Midoriya, he actually is smashed in the face with a trash can, or a giant dumpster, and he is sent flying into a giant semi-truck, smashing into the engine block as he actually does get out of it. Now, afterwards he actually just turn around and tell the driver to get out of here, and to run. Now, with that, Midoriya actually does scream as loud as he can, and everyone does start looking at him. Midoriya telling them to evacuate and get out of here, as he's tackled back directly into the truck. Riot actually bringing his hands up and starting to punch away at Venom's face, as Midoriya actually does form claws with his hand and slash away at Riot's chest. Now, the moment that actually does happen, Riot actually just jump backwards and begin to create weapons, creating a giant axe on his left hand and a giant, blade in his right. As he actually does then rush in and go to try and fight Midoriya. Now, with that being said, pro heroes would soon intervene and try and take down both of these threats. However, actually is just one problem. When they try and take out the gray symbiote, it kills the heroes. However, when they try and take down the, venom symbiote, it seems to be a different situation. Midoriya is trying to simply just knock these people out or take them away from the fight. He doesn't want them to get hurt. And that is whenever one pro actually is trying to tell Midoriya to surrender. Midoriya rushing past them and actually going back in to fight Riot, as he's actually able to tackle him to the ground and create a giant blade. Him telling Riot to simply just surrender. Now, the symbiote actually has created a blade and stab it upwards directly into Midoriya's chest, along with venom. That being when Midoriya actually has scream out in immense pain. Now, Midoriya actually has to go to stab his blade downwards, as he also then actually does grab a good portion of the Riot symbiote and rip it upwards. Now, with that being said, Venom and Riot do actually get into their own little fight. Riot actually trying to forcibly assimilate Venom into his own body. And that is a, harsh thing to do. Now, eventually the night does end, with higher level pro heroes coming in and actually stopping the situation. The Riot symbiote running away, and Midoriya being taken into custody. Now, Midoriya is taken into custody and it is discovered that this is Izuku Midoriya, the boy from UA. Pro heroes, and a lot of people, do want to know what Midoriya is doing. Now, Midoriya would explain that he went out for a run at night, and he was attacked by that other thing with a similar quirk to his own. Now, the police, they don't really, believe Midoriya. And there is a bit of a case he is pulled into. Now, with that being said, it is revealed to Midoriya that he is going to be held on trial, or at least held in custody, for a brief period of time, since there have been a numerous amount of serial killings. And from what they've been able to match up, the slash marks found around the area during Midoriya and Riot's fight are a match to the same marks found on these victims. Now, Midoriya is confused by that, trying to explain his innocence. Now, Midoriya does ultimately comply, and it is revealed that he's being held in police custody for allegations about all of this. Now, with that being said, we actually have an undisclosed location where our symbiote friend is actually just starting to watch the news. and they're actually forming claws in their hands and bringing them back into their skin, as they do the same thing over and over and over again. Now, with that being said, this person does wonder, this is so fun. I wonder how much more carnage I'll be able to spread. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.